Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Joining me now is Kimber Hopkins with the Humane Society of Wichita County. She is the volunteer and events coordinator, a lady of many hats, I know, at the Humane Society, and we appreciate you taking time to be here today. You know, we just heard from Faith Mission a little bit about how Texoma's generosity has really helped so many people, you know, through the coats and the blankets and the clothing, everything that they've donated. But this year, we included pets as well. And once again, Texoma stepped up to the plate to keep pets warm this winter. So we want to know from you, how did all of those donations, you know, how have they already helped so many pets stay warm?
Well, especially with our small dogs, it helps them to, when you put a coat on them, so that they can go out into the kennel and can be seen by potential adopters. It also helps keep them warm, and the bedding at night, the blankets and the pillows and all of that can help keep them warm also inside, where it is warmer anyway, but it keeps them off of the hard ground. And it just helps keep them warm, and they're so cute whenever they're pressing around in their little sweaters, and you know, knowing that they're warm and not freezing and shivering and all that.
Absolutely, and that's just proof that, you know, all of those donations that Texoma has given, they're not just sitting in storage or in a back closet. I mean, you know, during the drive, they were actually being put to use and, you know, going out the door to those in need. So can you let us know how they were being used?
Well, every day they get clean bedding, and they're washed every day, so that, you know, because they're going to soil, because they're not all housebroken, and unfortunately. And so we do have volunteers who will come in and wash their sheets daily. And then also the dog houses that people have donated when they found out that there was a need for dog houses. When we get a call for someone who can't, for some reason, cannot keep their animal inside, which is not really what we want, but for some reason if they can't, at least they have a nice warm place for them to stay, that it's out of the wind. And we also emphasize that they put hay in there to also help keep it warmer in there and not so cold.
And that, you know, that's a good point, because winter's not over yet. You know, the coat drive may be done, but like we mentioned earlier in the show, we are asking people to continue to give. You know, take your donations straight to the Humane Society, take your donations to the Faith Mission. But do you have any suggestions? If people, you know, maybe they have a doghouse, but any suggestions as we continue through the next few winter months here in Texoma to help their pets stay warm? You know, because it may be things they didn't even think about.
Well, especially if you're a short-haired dog, when it goes outside, it's freezing. It doesn't have any insulation. We talked about like the Huskies having more hair, and they're built for the winter weather, whereas the small dogs are not, especially the little Chihuahuas, or I have pointers and they don't hardly have any hair either, and so they get cold and they're shivering. And if we're cold, of course, we've said that before, that if we're cold, they're cold. If you would, you know, if you for some reason cannot keep them in the house, you know, of course, keep a dog house or something. And we had talked about before earlier that if you don't have that, maybe keeping them in the garage, but then you have health, you know, safety issues with them getting into certain chemicals. So anytime you want to get a dog house from us, from people donating for that purpose, we of course want you to give us a call, and we're going to provide you a dog house. We're going to try to provide you a sweater if you need one.
And whatever you have that dog house, it's important. You just mentioned hay, and I think you've also talked about putting blankets and stuff in there as well, too. Correct? Is there a certain way those need to be placed in the dog house, you know, so that way they are doing the most good? I mean, are you just laying them on the ground? What's the best way to do that?
I would just go ahead and put the hay in there, and then if you want to put a blanket on top of it, or a bed, a pet bed would be great too. It gives them a soft place to sleep as well, but it helps to insulate with the hay and keep it warmer in there.
That's great advice. That's absolutely great advice. Well, I know I just want to quickly ask you before we go to break. We have so much to talk about. So, but how impressed are you with Texoma and with their generosity during this drive?
I have been so impressed. It's like with Wichita Falls or Wichita County and all our surrounding communities. You put out a need that, hey, we've got something going on, especially with the 67 dogs that we've had in, or our dogs need a coat and blankets, and you just kind of put that out there, hey, would you please do this? And they come out and they provide it every time by leaps and bounds. And in most cases, when they come out to donate, they're looking around and they're providing a forever home for our animals.
And that's awesome to hear how this drive, you know, for more sweaters and blankets has actually provided more adoptions and provided homes for so many animals. So that's just awesome. Well, we have so much more to get to. You don't want to miss it. But first, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Inside Texoma. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about how your generous donations to Texoma benefited the Humane Society of Wichita County. And Kimber, you were telling us all about how those donations are being put to good use. But, just in case there's anyone new to the area watching or joining our show for the first time today and, wants to know more about the Humane Society, you service not just Wichita Falls, but there's a lot of people who can take advantage of the services the Humane Society provides, correct?
Correct. We have, they can call us if they need anything. If they have any questions, we kind of try to answer any questions that they have and try to refer them to an agency that can help them, especially if it's a lost animal. We're only allowed to take in county animals. All the city animals will go to the Animal Services Center on Hatton Road. They've got a lost dog. We try to tell them what to do with a lost dog. It's try to connect them with the people who can provide those services for them as well.
And again, that's Wichita County, the entire county, the Humane Society services. And, can you tell us what the need is now? Because we've talked about donations, how those are really encouraged to keep coming in, of course. So what is it? What's the need now that you're still asking for?
Well, right now we're in need of a industrial strength washing machine because we do have to do so many loads of laundry every day because of, we want them to have clean laundry every day for health reasons and so forth. But we also need lumber. Don Herzog has started this dog house building thing, and it makes a really wonderful job of making these wonderful dog houses. And it's called, I believe, Homes for Hounds or Houses for Hounds. It's a really great organization that he's just started because he saw that there was a need here.
Wow.
And he's making them for the Humane Society to pass out to people who need them.
And so he's basically just needing the lumber and doing the work.
Right.
At no cost to the Humane Society, is that correct?
No cost to the Humane Society, and it's just a benefit for helping and for filling in a need in the community where dogs need homes to help keep them warm, dog houses to keep them warm.
That's amazing. Just another proof of Texoma, really stepping up to the plate here. So again, whatever the need may be, it seems like every time we put it out there, though, it's fulfilled. So
exactly.
Hopefully that'll be the case again. So if you can't, maybe take part in giving the lumber or helping out with the industrial size washing machine, but maybe there's someone out there who can, what are some of the smaller things? Are there volunteers that you're asking for if you're not able to help in the monetary way?
Right. We always need volunteers to help come and do that laundry too, to spend time with our animals, to just give them some love that maybe they've never had before. Some are a little scared when they first get there, different sounds, different smells, that it helps them to calm down a little bit. We need people to help answer phones. And then we also need people to foster and come and help with our events. And we are going to have a volunteer orientation every first of the month.
Oh, wow. So there's always different chances to get involved. Now, if you can give everyone at home maybe a quick contact number, and I know you're also on Facebook, so there's multiple ways to contact the Humane Society of Wichita County. But if you do that, that could help out if someone's interested in giving you guys a call.
Sure. Our telephone number is 855-4941, and that is the Humane Society, and I'm the volunteer coordinator. So I will be getting with you, and we will be having a class at 4:30 every Saturday, the first Saturday of every month.
And there's a lot of events going on, so plenty of chances to get involved. I love, you guys are always out in the community looking to get those animals adopted, so it's a great thing. Well, Kimber, I appreciate you taking time today to be here and give us an insight to how all of Texoma's generous donations have been put to good use. So We appreciate that. Thanks again.
We appreciate you taking us in this year.
Absolutely. And we also, once again, Texoma, want you to see these numbers. These are the numbers that you brought in, all thanks to your generosity, the difference in the lives you made, of course, at Faith Mission and the Humane Society of Wichita County. Thanks again for joining us this morning. As always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texoma.